little tour of Reaper, which I like a lot because Reaper allows you up to, like on a single track, to use up to 128 channels. So you can do, what is that, 7th order? No, 5th order. So you can, or the Eigen mic has how many, 64 channels. So you can bring in a recording from the Eigen mic as one single clip. So it makes it very easy to work with. And also, for example, in other software like Ableton, there are some that are better than others. But in Ableton, you have to do complex routing if you, or there are some plugins that you can use for multi-channel clips. But I find them not so stable, keeping in mind I do have an older computer. Maybe on the new M4 Max it works fine, but for me it gives some problems. So Reaper is also free, although it's donation based, you can support them. But, sorry, I don't want to do an ad for them, but I think it's really nice because any problem, if I write them, they reply the next day. So what I want to show you is just a basic workflow. Say now we've made a B format, in other words, first order ambisonic impulse response, which I'm doing a lot because it's kind of an easy microphone to travel with, especially if you are like me recording caves or funny spaces. I have a light setup with a mixed pre 6. And so you just need to be able to record 4 channels. And so I want to show you, first of all, when you pull in either a mono or a stereo or whatever anechoic or whatever sound it is that you want to convolve with the impulse response. And then how to convolve it. And then again, how to decode it to different outputs. So the first step that we're going to do, I'm not going to build the whole track because then it will take me much longer. But here I've just, that's too loud, so I'm just going to use a little clip here, which is a recording of a cello in an anechoic studio. And basically the first thing that I need to do in Reaper is, wait, let me do the zoom thing. So you see this route button here. So in Reaper you need to go and set up your sends and receives for everything you do. Okay, so at the moment I'm sending it to the decoder and to the reverb. And at the moment I have 2 decoders because I have a binaural decoder, and then on a separate channel I have a decoder for quad because we have 4 loudspeakers here. So there you can see the first ambisonic decoder. At the moment I'm sending nothing to it, okay, and I'm only sending to my reverb track, and that's the level. And on this track it's important to add, I need to change it to be encoded for ambisonic because I cannot multiply mono channel with a ambisonic channel impulse response. You have to first make them the same so that the same channels are multiplying the frequency domain with the correct ones. So again, a free library of by Matthias Kronlacher. So I'm using his Ambix encoder as a VST, And then I've just added there for myself a EQ, which does multi-channel EQing and a compressor. I'm not going to use it now, but in general, just in case I need it. And so this allows you to place the sound source where you want it. For now, I'm just going to keep it in the middle. Because actually it also depends where was the source position when you recorded the impulse response. Because if I pan it here, it's not really going to be accurate. It's kind of basically just changing my mono file to ambix format so that it can convolve. Please stop me if something is not clear. Okay, I really want you to be able to do this. Okay, so I've set up, I'm changing my mono signal to ambix. Now I'm creating a new track, which is going to be my reverberation. Again, I need to check, and it's very important in Reaper to go say how many channels are you using. So I'm using 4 channels, right? There you can see I can have up to 64, and you also say which ones you want to use, because maybe you, for some reason, you want to put it on another group of channels. So 1 to 4, there's 4 channels. I'm not sending it to the master because I don't want it to go directly to the master. I'm going to send it to the reverb, and then I'm going to send the reverb to the decoder, and the decoder is going to go to the master output. Okay, so so on the reverb I add a receive. So how you add a receive is just you say add a new receive. I've already done that. So I'm saying receive from B format track. So I've named my my cello anechoic sample B format track because it's getting converted to B format. Okay, I have a B format reverb. Then if I go to the effects, I'm using the MCFX convolver, and I'm going to give you, there's going to be a downloadable document under my lecture with all these steps, how to build it, and also links to where you can download it. And so what's important here is my impulse response is in first order FUMA format. It means that the X channel is sitting in another position. So I need to use this ambix converter to convert it first to, from first FUMA to ACN, which is the ambix format. And that is the format that my convolution is happening in. Okay, and here I've made a preset folder of impulse responses. There are some of the Venice ones that you've heard in the Atlas, and also some other examples. So for the moment, I'm also the cave. Oh, hang on. Anyway, so at the moment, San Giorgio, which you saw, is loaded in. I'm just, how can I zoom out again? Oh, okay. Now, after I've sent it to the reverb, I'm sending it to a decoder. And it now depends. If you want to do it for binaural, you will use a binaural decoder. I want us to listen in this room. So I'm making another 4-channel track, again 1 to 4. I'm receiving from 1 to 4 from the reverb. If I want to mix in a little bit of dry signal, I'm also I can also add a little bit of the dry signal like that. Okay. And then from here I'm going to the decoder, which is again, oh sorry, that was the decoder. In this case I turn on master send because I wanted to go to my master, and now I need to check, is my master also 4 channels? And I set my master output to make sure it is also 4 channels, 1 to 4, and that it is going to the right sound card. Okay, at the moment I'm keeping it down on zip on so that we don't hear anything, so I can fade it in case it's too loud. Okay, so now let me play you first just the B format sample on its own, and to preview it I'm going to send it just quickly to the master. Okay. Sorry, why am I? Oh, it's very soft. Okay, now let's turn off the master and send it just to the reverb. Okay, we're not hearing it. Let's see what's going on. So I'm receiving the format track. The decoder. Let's see. Oh, the decoder I need to send to the master, and I need to show you the decoder, which is again, this is the IRA decoder from IEM. So Kronlocher makes also Ambix ones, and there's different options to use. So this one allows me to say, okay, first order, and here I'm guessing for you in the front, that is roughly, if you're sitting in the center, minus 30 degrees, 30 degrees, minus 150, 150, right? So, so I'm setting up my loudspeakers. I'm having to add 2 extras just so that it can calculate it. Otherwise it gives me an error, I'm not sure why. And so here you can see the positions. Oh, I should calculate it actually, yes. And now, when I play it, it should sound right. basic auralization. If I want to do it for binaural outputs, I've made a preset here, then I would use, there's various decoders. There's the Ambix binaural one, where it allows you to, for your output, to load in different presets. There's the dummy head. So you could use that. There's also ones that are compatible with YouTube, VR, and other like Facebook and other things. But to be able to hear that, you would need headphones. So let me just recap here with, sorry, I want to show you just so it makes a bit more sense. I actually made a workflow for you, which I will put on the, my screen is a disaster, oh right. Okay. So basically the steps is, so you make your track, you set it to 4, you have your, you name them, you have your 3 tracks, you have your ambisonic decoder, you have your reverb track, and you have your sample track, which I'm calling your B format track. There's the links also to the plugins where you can download them, the Ambix plugins, and the tutorial shows you which ones I'm using. Then there is how the plugin to convert to binaural. The banner, which you've seen, the converter, and then so on. Then you can make your mix. I'm sorry, I don't know if that's very clear. Do you want more detail, or it's kind of like a super speedy overview? Anyone? Yeah. So this will be on the website also if you want to go try that at home. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to close this and switch to Max MSP, and then also to Ableton, unless there's any questions. No? Okay. So, oh, I just wanted to show you one more thing. If I, so obviously I can now load in another. Let's go for a very different room. There's this beautiful Japanese room, a temple, just to compare. From where you're sitting, does it feel like you can hear the format space? So, yeah. Okay. One more to compare a nuclear reactor hall, which will be quite big, so I'll drop my levels first. pieces is in a cave I sampled different positions, and so I made 8 different tracks, because you can have many, and for each layer of sound at different points, they were not all playing at the same time, but I positioned then the impulse responses to be able to kind of move through the space. So you would have one sound and then the next and the next. So you can have limitless amounts of tracks, especially if they don't play all at the same time. You can organize your time like that. Okay, I'm gonna quit here and switch to maybe just play you a fragment of this piece, which was recorded in this Dalke Bottom Cave, and this part was recorded in Ingleborough Cave, which is an underwater it used to be a river underwater, but they flooded it. This is how you work in a cave, in a wheelbarrow with your equipment. And then the piece was done for Robin Shulkovsky, who is an amazing drummer, and we experimented with all kinds of sounds to try explore the relationship between the resonance of the caves and to find instruments that resonate with this space. So this is not a video, I'm just going to flip through some slides while I play it. Made a laser scan of the cave. Anyway, I don't want to spend more time on this. Now in Cycling 74's Max MSP, there's this ability to use also Max for live. Sorry, that's just to check the speakers. Actually, I do want to check them just real quick. Oh, I don't have the right sound card. Oh, I do. Okay. So here, I want to show you how you can use different impulse responses to create different sounds. And so this is actually the Max for Live plugin that's just opened in here. And because that's the nice thing about Max for Live, you can take any plugin and edit it and bring it back to live. And so let's just get impulse response. So stairwell. I hope it's not going to be too loud. Okay. Okay. You can just drop it there. Start with putting this in the middle. there's a
different
sample
from
that
the
you
one
heard
you are in
before.
now. I am recording the sound of my speaking voice.
And I'm going to add
I am
the
sitting in a
stairwell.
room different from the one you are in now. I am recording the sound of my speaking voice. I am sitting in a room different from the one you are in now. I am recording the sound of my speaking voice. I am sitting in a room different from the one you.
Okay, and now I just want to show you, you can use any sound, right? It doesn't just have to be an impulse response. So, okay, let's start with a Doppler sound. Right, say I want to create that kind of movement. I probably wouldn't use it with this vocal sample, but maybe with a percussive sound or something, but I'm just going to be real quick here. Okay, let's see what happens now.
I am sitting in a room different.
Soft.
I am recording the sound of my speaking voice. I am sitting in a room different from the one you are in now. I am recording the sound of my speaking voice.
Okay, or I can take something like this. And I just want to make it louder because it's very soft.
I am sitting in a room different from the one you are in now. I am recording the sound of my speaking voice. I am sitting in a room different from the one you are in now.
So you can see, you can kind of use it in any way that's interesting. Or let me see, so I want to bring a slow inlet in. Right, so I'm going to use that as an impulse response. Let's see what happens.
I am recording the sound of my speaking voice. I am sitting in a
Or let's try a different sample. How am I going to make it? Okay. So let's take a kalimba. giant, or into the Taj Mahal, which is my favorite river. Okay, and one last one, or let's do a echo. Oh, yeah, you can also do very long, beautiful drone sounds by, I've done a lot of things where I take a recording of the sea, right, of the ocean, and it gets, I'm going to show you. I hope this works. Okay. So you can start to imagine, for example, metal, water, liquid, other things, and convolve it to create effects or to create movement. I think I'm done, unless you have any questions. If you want to see in Ableton, I can just show you one last thing. Are there any people using Ableton live? No? Okay, then it's kind of, it has the exact setting. Only one thing I forgot was in Reaper, what I've just demoed to you was now obviously just stereo. But in Reaper, when I do the ambisonic things, you can now go and basically take any B format recording, and if you have a sound, if you want to make an immersive soundscape, this is one way through convolution to immediately turn it into an immersive one. And the implications with that is when you have, the moment you have B format, like I showed you in the Atlas example, you can have 3 degrees of freedom. So you're not locked to this, people can actually move their head in the space. And because B format allows you to, or first order ambisonics allows you to have this. So it's useful in many ways, and like if you think of all the impulse responses that are available. The last thing I want to end with is just to show you resources. Just a list of resources. Because there are all kinds of libraries of impulse responses. There's also libraries of ears, like all kind, not just the dummy head anymore, but also actual people's ears. So you can follow these links. For example, libraries of HRTFs, human ears, audio examples. There's even an app where you can go and make, and you order a whole package and you can record your own ears, which I think is interesting. So if you want to personalize your own HRTF listening, for those who weren't in the previous lecture, HRTF is like a recording of your ears or of the individual's ears, so that when you decode back, you decode to your specific individual ears. Then the plugins I've already shown you, the MCFX and the Ambix plugins. There's also all kinds of applications, obviously in film. Here is one of the libraries, the open air one. There's also a library of anechoic data. Then various research groups, and very important, we have an immersive 3D audio conference that you should try to attend, coming up in September, and you can visit our website where it's kind of like a hub and a place where we share all kinds of new research and projects connected to this. That's it for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Cobi. Are there any questions from the audience, maybe also from the Zagreb or Bologna group? Or curiosity, I don't know.
In the previous bit, the underwater recording, what was the name of the people doing it again?
I have to put on my glasses. It's, I think, someone from Finland.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes, Finland, Delicaris manias.
Delicaris manias.
Yes, and it's a tetrahedral array that they used of hydrophones. And when you listen on earphones, you can hear the bubbles. When you listen to the bubbles, you can hear the spatiality very well. Yes.
Is it sometimes done to, if you have a recording in a room that has an echo, to maybe record the impulse of that room and then deconvolute it to get just does it work like then getting something similar to an anechoic recording of the first sound?
Can you say that again? So you say to reverse the process? Or
Yeah, if you want to, for example, if you want to see how a certain sound will sound in one space, but you have it in another space that is not anechoic.
right.
Can you maybe record the impulse response of the first room and then inversely
Right.
convolute it? Like, does it work like that or not?
I've never done it,
No, it's possible to
but
do
it
this.
sounds
You
very
need a
logical.
deconvolution.
Yeah.
Because if you record something in a real room, you want to remove the acoustic of the room in order to obtain the theoretical anechoic room.
Yeah.
We made several times in the past, especially for the police. If you want to record some people's whispering and you cannot understand because of the reverberation, you have to remove the reverberation by means of inverted impulse response of the room. This is what we made some time, not several times. This is one possibility. Another possibility, maybe also Adriano could suggest this, could be if you are able to record with a kind of multi-channel recording, so I don't know. Yes, like a Gagema, you can focus, and so you are able to understand what happens exactly at that point. It should be useful in order to avoid all the noise coming from the other point. So this is very useful. This is what we one original idea for this meeting was just to do this kind of experience. but we have no time. Well, we prefer to use the flare, so only to see different maps, but it also works. The first one is easier maybe because you don't need a mic, you don't need a multi-channel microphone. You make a recording, then you make a measurement more or less in the same position of the sound sources and the recordings, and you can try to invert the input response. There are several possibilities to calculate the inverse. Then you convert this inverse filter with the recording, and so you are able to remove most of the reverberation. But it's not working very well. It's very difficult to do this.
Hmm. That's very interesting. Yeah, I mean, we have a few minutes. If you want to try any experiment, if anyone.
This is
we
very,
can-
very
we
interesting
could-
because do you have also other kind of sound example, not only the cello, the
Yes.
single?
I'm sorry,
Okay.
I was supposed to do this last night and then we arrived very late and I didn't.
Ah.
I still wanted to add more examples. Sorry.
Don't worry.
I agree, it's not so exciting to just.
I want to add also another point for you that you make the question of the inversion of the impulse responses. This is similar to what we made several years ago in the violins. So in order to capture the impulse response of the violins, we developed some method to measure not only the impulse response of groups but also musical instruments, considering the musical instrument like linear system, linear time invariant system, of course. And we measured the impulse responses, but it was not easy to obtain some anechoic music from the violin. So we measured also the real music of the violinist. He played only in one string because otherwise, 4 strings, you have to calculate separate impulse responses. So he asked him, please play only 20 seconds, one string. We measure in that position the music and also the impulse responses. And then we remove the acoustics of the sound chest of the violin because we measure also the impulse responses. And this way we obtain a sort of anechoic violin. And we apply this anechoic violin to other impulse responses of other violins. And it was very, very nice. We published a paper more or less 20 years ago about this, a lot of time ago. But this is an idea that I would like to carry on in the future in order to create a virtual museum of musical instruments. This is my idea, it's a very old idea. I hope in the future to be able to do this because we gathered several also impulse response of musical instruments. So you have just a jukebox, you push some combination like Cobi showed before. So some music examples, set a matrix of different musical instruments. So you can play the violin inside the flute, for example. So very particular example. Or also to compare different violins. So if you have 4 violins, you can compare one very cheap with another Stradivarius that is 4 million euros. So you can understand if really this violin, second violin, deserve to come to this value. So there are several possibilities for doing this.
Are there any specific kind of sounds that you are interested in? Like more synth sounds or just different instruments?
Could you also compare different impulse response more or less at the same time with Reaper?
Yeah.
So maybe 2 different channels, I don't know. So if you have, for example, when we simulated the nonlinearity of musical instruments, our former PhD student prepared a setup of Reaper in which we have different signals, one linear convolution and the second one non-linear convolution. So we could switch on and off in the same time, so we could compare in the same time 2 different environments. So in that case it was 2 different linear and non-linear convolution, but maybe you could also do the same, I don't know.
Yeah, I just want to duplicate.
Because Reaper is a very beautiful program, but
Yeah.
it's more than 10 years that I'm not using it anymore, so I don't know anymore how it works.
Does anyone know how to duplicate? I don't know why my duplication is not. I should just right click usually. And
To duplicate what? A track or clips?
Huh?
To duplicate what?
A track.
Ah,
Maybe
maybe under track.
that would be the quickest way. Whatever, I'll make just a new one. Okay, create,
Yeah.
insert new track. Make 4 channels, yes. Add new receive from the view format track. Make it 4. Thank you, everybody. It's nice to have you here. Then turn off master syncs. Add reverb.
Oh, yeah, if you right click on a track, there is a duplicate track.
Yeah, it didn't work for me though.
But I didn't see the right click maybe.
Anyway, it looks like this actually did it. Okay, so presets, reverb. Okay, so you want to hear the same reverb.
No, the same music with different reverb. So
Yes.
same music, different impulse responses.
Okay, and what kind of impulse responses? Anything?
Something different each other, so we
Okay.
can appreciate the differences. So
Right.
one almost dry, and another one much more reverberant.
Okay. Okay, so that's the reverberant one, and this will be very dry. Would be the Japanese room, or yeah, that would be the driest one. Tempo E. Okay, and then I just need to hear it in the, to receive it from reverb, add a new receive, and call it, what is the name of this? Let's call it something. Reverb. My keyboard is messed up. Reverb 2. Okay. So I know. Okay. Okay, and then the decoder needs to receive reverb 2. No, it's not. Receive from B format reverb. I thought that's, it didn't update the name. But it's this one. I don't know why it didn't update the name. Delete it and do it again. Add reverb 2. Okay. And 4 tracks. And that's it. Okay. And now in the decoder, yeah, it should be all good. Go to master. Okay. So I mute first the one. And we use another sound. Let's say, what's this? Yeah, I wanted to do exactly that. I wanted to make a piece where you go boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
This should be the best solution.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, people, I'm a bit tired. Come on. This is too loud. I don't know about this song. Let's see. Oh, sorry, I don't want to hear the direct sound. Why did that get turned on? Okay, and sorry, people. Does the
Yeah, yes, it will.
feel authentic?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, how much would you normally add of the dry? Let's see if I. Maybe.
But are you now filtering the frequency? I don't understand. The
Sorry,
graph. Yes.
one sound annoyed me. I'll turn it off. Yeah, no,
And which were the different rules? I mean, one Japanese, I don't know.
Okay. A cave. The caves I showed you.
Okay. And the other?
In a Japanese temple.
Ah. It's not
Lady
a theater.
Huh?
Not a theater.
Oh,
because
sorry.
you know
Yeah, I don't have any theaters here.
Because there are, we measured the North Theater, you remember maybe?
Oh, yeah.
The North
Ah.
Theater in Japan.
You did?
Yes, we have. It was responses. Yes, I have my computer.
Yeah. Theaters. I mean, I have it, but not ready. So to be able to make a preset for the MCFX, I can show you the trick how to do it if you want to know. You basically just have to go hack the little preset file to put it in.
I don't remember how it was the request, so
Yeah.
I need to
Um,
make a training.
Yeah, it's very easy actually. You just go, you place your presets, and each preset has like a text kind of file. So let's go for Venice. So here, I was a bit sloppy, I didn't rename it properly. I don't know why I didn't give it the right name, but anyway, so all you have to go do here, yeah, I'm a bit ashamed. I did a very quick thing. You have to just go update your names in the doc so it goes, you point it to the correct places, but this is not the this is not the right Oh, sorry, no, here it is, config. What am I doing? Yeah, it's this. So, basically you have to specify just the correct impulse response name in here. And you have to make sure you have the right order, obviously. So say the one from the theater in Faenza, then you would just come and save a file like this for that impulse response name and put it in the same, in your presets folder, and then it will show up when you load the Amdex plugin.
Okay.
I think we have to be out of this room
The
soon.
room needs to be clear by 4:30 because they have
Oh,
jazz
4:30.
orchestra or
Ah, I
something
thought it
like
was
that.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We need to start back up.
So I will stop the recording.